Imagine yourself as a raw diamond buried deep beneath layers of unyielding earth hidden from the light. The pressure is immense, suffocating, and yet it's the very force that shapes you into something extraordinary. Why do you shy away from it? Why do you settle for the safety of the surface where mediocrity cloaks you in its dull, comfortable shadow? The fear of striving for excellence grips tight, doesn't it? It whispers that blending in is easier, that standing out risks shattering you. But here's the truth: to be so good they can't ignore you, you must embrace the weight, the grind, the unrelenting pressure that forges brilliance from the ordinary. This is the heart of our journey together in the weight of mediocrity. Feel the tension in your chest. Let it awaken you. You're not meant to be overlooked, you're meant to shine. Picture yourself as Sarah, a woman with a voice that could stop time. In her small town, everyone knew she was destined for stages far beyond the local karaoke bar. Her songs carried dreams raw and untamed, but when the moment came to audition for a national competition, her hands trembled. What if she failed? What if the world saw her flaws and laughed? Instead, she chose the safety of a predictable job at the local hardware store. The hours were steady, the paycheck reliable. Her voice, once a wildfire, became a whisper drowned out by the hum of inventory lists and customer complaints. She blended in, just another face in a sea of sameness. But late at night, when the world was quiet, regret clawed at her. She traded her potential for a shield against judgment, and the weight of that choice grew heavier each day. Sarah's story isn't just hers, it's yours too. How many times have you dimmed your own light to avoid the risk of burning too bright? The comfort of blending in feels like a warm blanket, but it's a trap. It keeps you small, unnoticed, unremarkable. Sarah didn't fail because she lacked talent. She failed because she feared the pressure that could have forged her into a diamond. As Steve Jobs once said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." Sarah lived a script not her own, and the lesson cuts deep. The risk of failure is nothing compared to the slow death of a dream left untested. You must step into the crucible. Only under pressure do you uncover your true strength. Now see yourself as Liam, a high school junior, with a mind sharp enough to carve through complex math problems like a blade through silk. His teacher saw it, his potential to compete at state-level math Olympiads, maybe even nationals. But in the cafeteria, his peers rolled their eyes at the nerd. They mocked anyone who dared to stand out, and Liam felt their stares like daggers. So he stopped raising his hand in class. He let his grades slip just enough to fade into the background to become average and visible. He told himself it didn't matter, that being normal was better than being judged. But inside, a storm raged. Every time he saw a math problem he knew he could solve, his heart ached with what could have been. Liam's fear of judgment is a mirror to your own hesitations. How often have you silenced your brilliance to avoid the whispers of others? Blending in feels safe, but it's a cage. Liam's potential was a diamond buried beneath layers of doubt, waiting for the pressure of courage to reveal its facets. The lesson here echoes Sarah's: you are not forged by comfort, but by the weight you're willing to bear. As Cal Newport, who inspired the theme of being so good they can't ignore you, wrote, "If you want to love what you do, abandon the passion mindset. What can the world offer me? And instead adopt the craftsman mindset. What can I offer the world?" Liam had something to offer, but fear stopped him. Don't let it stop you. Face the pressure. Let it shape you. Pause for a moment and look within. Why does mediocrity feel so seductive? It's a soft riverbed, smooth and familiar, where you can drift without resistance. Striving for excellence, on the other hand, is a mountain ascent, jagged, steep, and merciless. The fear of standing out, of being seen, and possibly scorned roots you to the easy path. But let's unravel this lie together. Mediocrity isn't safety, it's stagnation. It's the slow erosion of your spirit, the quiet theft of your purpose. You weren't born to drift, you were born to carve your mark into the stone of this world. Like a diamond under pressure, your value emerges, not from ease, but from the forces that test you. How many gifts have you buried to avoid the gaze of others? How many times have you chosen to be forgettable over unforgettable? Consider this: the pressure you fear is not your enemy, it's your maker. It's the hammer that chips away the excess, revealing the brilliance beneath. Blending in might spare you pain today, but it costs you greatness tomorrow. The world doesn't remember the average, it remembers the relentless, the bold, the ones who endured the wait until they shone. You have that potential within you, waiting beneath layers of doubt. Don't let the comfort of the unseen dull your edges. Step into the forge. Let the pressure craft you into something undeniable. Let's go deeper. Fear of striving for excellence isn't just about failure. It's about exposure. When you aim high, you become visible. You invite scrutiny, criticism, perhaps even ridicule. It's easier to hide in the crowd, to let your talents rust in the shadows. But ask yourself, what is the true cost of this hiding? Every time you shrink, you reinforce the chains that bind you. You tell yourself you're not enough, not ready, not worthy. And yet, like a diamond buried in the earth, your worth is inherent. It only needs the pressure of effort to be revealed. Have you ever considered that the judgment you fear is often a reflection of others' insecurities, not your own shortcomings? This fear is a storm, wild and loud, but it passes. What remains is the strength you build by standing through it. Excellence isn't a gift bestowed, it's a prize wrested from struggle. The pressure you dread, whether it's the risk of failing or the weight of being seen, is the very force that polishes you. Stop running from it. Embrace it. You are not fragile. You are raw potential waiting to be forged. The world can't ignore a diamond that refuses to stay buried. So rise. Let the storm of fear howl. You are stronger than you know. When the pull of mediocrity tugs at you, when blending in feels like the only option, pause. Take a breath. You're at a crossroads, and the choice you make now shapes your tomorrow. Here's how to break free from the shell of comfort. First, identify one area where you've been holding back. Maybe it's a skill you've neglected or a goal you've shelved. Write it down. See it in black and white. Next, ask yourself, what's the smallest step I can take today to move toward it? Not a leap of step. Maybe it's sending an email, practicing for 10 minutes, or simply admitting to yourself that you want more. Take that step. Feel the weight of action over inaction. Then commit to consistency. Pressure builds diamonds over time, not overnight. Set a daily or weekly marker, 5 minutes of one task, whatever feels doable, and stick to it. When fear creeps in, whispering that you'll be judged or that you're not ready, counter it with evidence. Write down one reason you're capable, one past win, no matter how small. Keep this list close. It's your armor. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. You're forging yourself layer by layer into something the world can't ignore. Start now. The first crack in the shell of comfort is the hardest, but it's also the most liberating. The fear of striving for excellence often roots in the dread of being seen, truly seen. What if they laugh? What if they criticize? Here's how to face that fear head on. First, reframe visibility. Instead of seeing it as a threat, view it as a challenge to prove your worth. You're not asking for approval, you're declaring your presence. Start small, share one idea, one creation, one effort with a trusted circle. Let their feedback, good or bad, be the first layer of pressure that shapes you. Listen, learn, but don't crumble. Next, build a mantra to anchor you when doubt strikes. Something simple like, I am enough and I am growing. Repeat it daily, especially before stepping into the spotlight. Finally, track your exposure. Each time you show up, whether it's speaking up in a meeting or posting your work online, note it. See how each act of courage builds on the last. Pressure isn't a punishment, it's a teacher. As Napoleon Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. The fear of being seen is an adversity, but within it lies your transformation. Face it. Let it forge you. You're becoming a diamond, and diamonds don't hide. We've walked through the shadows of mediocrity together, felt the weight of blending in, and faced the fear that keeps us from striving for excellence. You've seen through Sarah and Liam how settling for average steals more than it protects. You've reflected on the seductive pull of comfort and the storm of fear that binds us to smallness. But you've also learned that pressure, the very thing you dread, is your greatest ally. Like a diamond, your brilliance emerges only when you endure the weight, the grind, the relentless shaping of effort and courage. The key lesson is clear: to be so good they can't ignore you. You must first refuse to ignore yourself. Stop hiding. Start forging. As we move forward, remember that this is just the beginning. The path to undeniable greatness is steep, but each step hones you sharper, brighter. The next chapter will build on this foundation, pushing you to wield your potential with purpose. For now, hold this truth close. Let it be your guide through the pressure, through the doubt, through the fear of being seen. You are a diamond in the making. Keep pressing forward. Final mantra: endure the pressure. Your brilliance is waiting to be revealed. Picture a blade raw and unformed, lying on the anvil of life. It's rough, unpolished, and far from ready to cut through the challenges ahead. But with every strike of the hammer, with every grinding turn of the stone, it sharpens. It transforms. That blade is you. Are you willing to endure the grind, to embrace the unseen effort that forges greatness? The world doesn't reward the half-hearted or the impatient. To be so good they can't ignore you, you must commit to the relentless discipline of becoming exceptional, a process hidden in the shadows away from applause. Welcome to the grind of greatness. This is not about fleeting moments of inspiration or bursts of talent. This is about the quiet hours, the solitary struggles, the endless sharpening of your edge. You're here because you crave something more, something undeniable. Let's walk this path together. Feel the weight of the hammer in your hand. Sense the heat of the forge. You're not just shaping a skill, you're crafting a legacy. Let's dive into the unseen effort that turns ordinary into extraordinary and discover how discipline becomes your greatest weapon. Imagine the world asleep, wrapped in the stillness of pre-dawn darkness. While others dream, you lace up your worn-out sneakers, your breath visible in the frigid air. You're an athlete, not yet a champion, but hungry for it. The track looms ahead, empty and unforgiving. Your muscles ache from yesterday's grind, but you don't stop. You can't. Every lap, every sprint, every bead of sweat is a promise to yourself you will be unmatched. Friends party, peers rest, but you choose the solitude of effort. The stadiums are silent now, but one day they'll roar for you. The conflict gnaws at you. Doubt creeps in like a shadow on the track. Is this worth it? It whispers as your legs burn and your lungs scream. You see others taking shortcuts, skipping practice, chasing quick fixes. But you know something they don't. Greatness isn't borrowed or bought. It's built in these lonely hours. You push harder, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Each step hones your edge, sharpening you into a blade that cannot be dulled by distraction or despair. Months turn to years. Your rivals falter, worn down by inconsistency. But you've become a force. At the championship race, your name echoes through the crowd. They see the victory, the medal, the glory, but they don't see the dawn runs, the pulled muscles, the quiet resolve. The lesson cuts deep. A blade isn't forged in a single strike. It's the endless grind, the unseen discipline that makes you so good they can't ignore you. You've learned that greatness is not a gift. It's a choice renewed every day. Now picture yourself hunched over a desk, the dim light of a lamp, casting shadows on crumpled pages. You're a writer wrestling with words that refuse to sing. Your first draft is a mess, a tangle of half-formed ideas and clunky sentences. Others would call it good enough and move on. Not you. You tear it apart line by line, word by word. You revise until your fingers ache and your mind begs for rest. You know the story inside you deserves better. It demands to be powerful, to move hearts, to linger in minds. The struggle is real. Every revision feels like a battle. Self-doubt sneers. Who will read this? Why bother? The temptation to publish prematurely, to seek validation over quality, looms large. But you resist. You remember why you started to craft something undeniable. So you sharpen your prose like a blade on a whetstone. You cut excess, refine imagery, and rebuild structure until the story gleams. Hours turn to weeks, weeks to months. Friends wonder why you're still working on it. They don't see the fire in your soul, the need to be exceptional. Then the day comes. Your work is published and the world takes notice. Readers are moved, critics are stunned. They see the finished piece, but not the countless drafts, the sleepless nights, the relentless pursuit of perfection. The takeaway pierces through. Greatness hides in the grind. Like a blade honed by endless sharpening, your skill forged through discipline becomes impossible to overlook. You've proven that to be so good they can't ignore you, you must embrace the unseen effort others shy away from. Let's pause and reflect. What does it mean to become exceptional? It's not a sudden leap or a stroke of luck. It's the slow, deliberate work of the forge. Life is your anvil, and every challenge, every setback is a hammer strike shaping you. You don't see the transformation day by day. It's invisible, like the gradual sharpening of a blade. But with each swing, each hour of practice, each moment of discipline, you edge closer to an unbreakable edge. How often have you stopped just before the breakthrough, mistaking exhaustion for defeat? How many times have you underestimated the power of one more try? Consider the nature of effort itself. It's not glamorous. It's not celebrated. It's the sweat on your brow when no one's watching, the quiet resolve when the world sleeps. But it's also your greatest ally. Effort carves away weakness, polishes flaws, and reveals strength you didn't know you had. Like a river cutting through stone over centuries, your persistence creates paths where none existed. The grind of greatness isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's the fire that tempers you, the stone that sharpens you. Embrace it. Know that every unseen hour is a deposit in the vault of your potential. The world will eventually see the result, but only you know the cost and the triumph of the process. Discipline is your whetstone, the tool that keeps your blade keen. Without it, talent rusts, passion fades, and dreams dull. To be so good they can't ignore you, discipline must become your compass. It's not enough to want greatness. You must commit to the daily rituals that build it. Think of the blade again. Left untouched, it grows blunt, useless. But with consistent care, with relentless sharpening, it becomes a weapon of precision. Are you tending to your edge or letting it decay in the comfort of ease? Discipline isn't just about hard work. It's about focus. It's choosing the long road over the shortcut, the grind over the gimmick. It's saying no to distractions and yes to growth, even when no one sees. Like a lighthouse standing firm against crashing waves, discipline anchors you when doubt storms in. It's the quiet voice that says, keep going, when your body screams, stop. Understand this, the world doesn't owe you recognition. It notices only what stands out. And what stands out is the product of disciplined effort so consistent, so fierce, that it carves your name into the stone of history. Sharpen yourself daily. Let discipline be the force that makes you undeniable. Now let's get practical. The grind of greatness starts with small, deliberate actions. First, carve out 1 hour each day, your sacred hour for the skill or craft you want to master. No excuses. Turn off notifications. Silence the noise and focus. Whether you're running laps, writing pages, or studying code, this hour is non-negotiable. Treat it like a ritual, a strike of the hammer on your unformed blade. Second, track your progress. Write down what you did in that hour. Note the struggles, the tiny wins. Seeing your effort accumulate on paper fuels your resolve. Third, when doubt creeps in, and it will pause, breathe. Ask yourself, am I one step away from a breakthrough? Often you are. Push through. As Jim Rohn once said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Build that bridge brick by brick, day by day. Your unseen effort in these quiet hours will one day shout your name to the world. Start now. Sharpen your edge today. Here's another tool for your journey. Adopt a revision mindset. Greatness isn't born in the first attempt. It's refined through relentless improvement. Whether you're crafting a project, honing a skill, or building a business, treat every effort as a draft. Ask, how can this be better, then act on the answer. If you're stuck, step back for a moment, but don't quit. Return with fresh eyes and sharpen what's rough. Set a rule, revisit your work at least 3 times before calling it done. Each pass is a chance to cut flaws and polish strengths. Keep a notebook or digital log of lessons learned during each revision. Over time, you'll see patterns, weaknesses to eliminate, strengths to amplify. As Cal Newport, author of So Good They Can't Ignore You, reminds us, becoming excellent at something requires a willingness to embrace deliberate practice. That means grinding through discomfort, revising through doubt. Commit to this process. Let each iteration of your work be a strike on the anvil, shaping you into something extraordinary. Let's linger on this truth. The grind of greatness is a hidden victory. The world celebrates the podium, the bestseller, the masterpiece. But the real triumph happens long before, in the empty gym, the cluttered desk, the solitary struggle. You win every time you choose effort over ease, discipline over distraction. Each unseen hour is a trophy no one can take from you. Have you ever considered that the grind itself is the reward, that the sharpening of your blade is as meaningful as the cut it makes? Think of yourself as a seed buried in dark soil. Growth isn't visible at first, it's painful, slow, unseen. But beneath the surface, roots spread, strength builds. One day you break through and the world sees your bloom. Yet the true victory was in the grind below, in enduring the darkness, in pushing against resistance. So honor the unseen. Revel in the quiet battles. They are forging a blade so sharp, so resilient, that when the light finally shines on you, no one can look away. Be patient. Be persistent. Your hidden victories are crafting a greatness that will echo. The grind of greatness is not a punishment. It's a privilege. You've seen it in the athlete's solitary dawn, felt it in the writer's relentless revisions, and understood it through the metaphor of a blade honed by endless sharpening. The unseen effort, the quiet discipline, these are the forces that make you so good they can't ignore you. The key lesson is clear: exceptionalism is not a gift bestowed. It's a craft forged through consistent, deliberate grind. Every hour you invest, every struggle you embrace sharpens your edge for the world to see. As we move forward, remember that this journey doesn't end with effort alone. The next step is to wield your sharpened blade with purpose, to cut through obstacles and carve your unique path. But for now, hold fast to this truth: the grind is your foundation. Keep striking the anvil of your potential. Keep honing your craft in the shadows. The day will come when your light shines so brightly no one can turn away. Final mantra: sharpen relentlessly. Your edge will carve your legacy. Picture yourself as a solitary oak, standing defiant on a windswept hill. The storm rages around you, gusts of doubt howl in your ears, and torrents of criticism lash at your roots. Yet you stand. Why? Because deep within you, know that to be so good they can't ignore you, you must endure the isolation of your vision. You must weather the tempests of skepticism that come with carving your own path. In this journey to unparalleled skill, the storm isn't your enemy, it's your crucible. It shapes you, tests you, and forces you to grow stronger than the crowd huddled in the safety below. Welcome to the heart of your transformation. Here, in Standing Alone in the Storm, we confront the raw, unyielding reality of isolation and doubt that shadows the pursuit of greatness. You've chosen a road less, traveled a vision so unique, it unnerves those who cling to the familiar. And for that, you'll face whispers, sneers, even silence. But remember this: the storm doesn't last forever. Your roots dig deeper with every gust. Your resolve hardens with every strike. Let's walk this path together, feeling the wind against us, knowing that on the other side lies a brilliance no one can deny. Imagine you're an innovator burning with an idea so radical, it feels like a spark in a world of damp wood. You've spent sleepless nights sketching plans for a device that could change how people connect, a concept so far ahead of its time that even your closest allies squint in confusion. You present it to a room of investors, your voice trembling with passion, but the response: cold laughter. That'll never work, they scoff. Stick to what's proven. Their words sting like hail against your skin. You leave the room, shoulders slumped, the weight of rejection pressing down. Isolation creeps in. Doubt gnaws at your edges. Why keep pushing when no one sees what you see? But you don't crumble. Like a solitary oak in the storm, you stand. You return to your workshop not with defiance, but with quiet resolve. You tweak, you test, you fail again and again. Each failure is a gust of wind bending you, but not breaking you. Months turn to years. The world moves on, but you don't. You refine your vision in the dark unseen, and then one day you unveil it, a working prototype. The same skeptics who laugh now stare in awe. Your idea, once mocked, becomes the foundation of an industry. You've become so good they can't ignore you. The lesson here is clear: isolation is the price of innovation. Like the oak, you must root yourself in your belief when the storm of criticism rages. The takeaway is this: enduring solitude and doubt isn't just survival, it's the forge of your greatness. Your vision, though unseen now, will one day stand tall above the tempest. Now picture yourself as a performer, a dancer with a style so unconventional it defies every rule. Your movements are jagged where others are smooth, raw where others are polished. You pour your soul into every step, believing your art speaks a truth others can't yet hear. You audition for a prestigious company, your heart racing as you dance before a panel of judges. Their verdict cuts deep, too strange, too different. You don't fit. The audience murmurs agreement. You stand alone on that stage, the spotlight burning, feeling the weight of their rejection, like a storm tearing at your branches. You could conform. You could soften your edges, mimic the familiar, and earn their applause. But something in you refuses. Like the solitary oak, you choose to stand apart. You practice in empty studios, perfecting every unconventional leap, every defiant twist. Doubt whispers in the quiet hours. What if they're right? What if you're wrong? But you silence it with action. You hone your craft until your strangeness becomes strength, until your difference becomes brilliance. Years later, you perform again. This time, the same judges who dismissed you sit in the stunned silence. Your style, once mocked, redefines the art. You've become so good they can't ignore you. The storm of mockery and isolation shaped you. Like the oak, you learned that standing alone isn't weakness, it's the path to a legacy. The takeaway resonates. Enduring the loneliness of being misunderstood is how you carve a space no one else can fill. Let's pause and look deeper into this storm of isolation and doubt. Why does it hurt so much to stand alone? Why do the sneers of others feel like lightning striking at your core? It's because we're wired to belong, to seek the warmth of the herd. But here's the truth: to be so good they can't ignore you, you must step beyond the shelter of approval. You must become the solitary oak rooted in your purpose while the winds of skepticism howl. The storm isn't here to destroy you, it's here to teach you. Every gust of doubt strips away your reliance on external validation. Every lash of criticism forces you to dig deeper into your own conviction. Think of the oak on that hill. Does it bend to the storm's will? No. It sways, it adapts, but it holds its ground. So must you. Isolation isn't a curse, it's a crucible. It burns away the superficial, leaving only the iron of your resolve. Ask yourself this: how many times have you abandoned a vision because the storm felt too fierce? How many dreams lie buried under the weight of others' opinions? The path to greatness is lonely, yes, but it's in that loneliness that you discover your unbreakable strength. Embrace the storm. Let it shape you, for on the other side you'll stand taller than ever before. Consider the roots of that solitary oak. They're unseen, buried beneath the earth, yet they're the reason it withstands the fiercest tempest. Your resilience, too, lies in what others cannot see: your quiet determination, your hidden hours of toil, your unwavering belief when no one else believes. Pursuing unparalleled skill often means working in the shadows, enduring doubt that no one else can feel. But those roots, though invisible, are your power. They anchor you when the storm of isolation threatens to uproot your dreams. What keeps your roots strong? It's the fire within the vision that burns brighter than the criticism around you. It's the choice to keep going when the world turns its back. Reflect on this. What is the vision that anchors you? What dream is worth the solitude, like a river carving through stone? Your persistence, slow unseen, relentless, creates a path where none existed. The storm of doubt may rage above, but below your roots grow deeper with every challenge. Isolation isn't your end, it's your beginning. It's the space where you forge a skill so profound, so unique, that the world has no choice but to notice. When doubt strikes, and it will, don't let it uproot you. Pause, breathe, stand like that solitary oak, and take these steps to anchor yourself. First, write down one reason why you started. Maybe it's a vision of changing lives, or a personal promise to prove you can. Hold that reason like a root gripping the earth. Second, name the doubt. Is it fear of failure? Fear of being misunderstood? Naming it strips its power, turning a shadowy storm into a manageable gust. Third, take one small action. If you're an artist, sketch a single line. If you're an entrepreneur, send one email. Action, no matter how small, reminds you that you're still standing. As Napoleon Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Doubt is your adversity. Use it. Let it push you to refine your craft, to dig deeper into your purpose. When isolation feels heaviest, remember the storm passes, but your growth remains. Keep moving. One step at a time, you'll become so good they can't ignore you. Isolation can be your ally if you wield it right. When the world turns away, turn inward. Use this solitude to build unshakable skill. Start by setting a daily ritual, 10 minutes, 30 an hour, where you focus solely on your craft. No distractions, no voices of doubt. Just you and your work. If you're a writer, write one raw, honest page. If you're a musician, master one difficult note. These moments unseen by others are your roots growing deeper. Next, seek silent mentors. Read the stories of those who stood alone before you. As Cal Newport advises in So Good They Can't Ignore, you don't follow your passion, build it through deliberate practice. Study how others turned isolation into mastery. Let their journeys remind you that solitude isn't abandonment, it's opportunity. Finally, celebrate small victories alone. Finished a project, honed a skill. Stand tall in that moment. You don't need applause to know your worth. Like the oak, your strength is in your silent endurance. Keep building. The world will see you soon enough. Standing alone in the storm isn't easy, but it's the path to becoming so good they can't ignore you. We've walked through the tempests of isolation and doubt, seen how innovators and performers weathered rejection to forge brilliance, and uncovered the truth that solitude is your crucible, not your cage. Like the solitary oak, you've learned to root yourself in purpose, to let the winds of criticism shape you rather than break you. The takeaway echoes loud and clear. Enduring the loneliness of your vision is how you craft a skill so powerful it demands attention. As you move forward, carry this with you. The storm isn't forever, but the strength you gain from it is. Keep standing, keep growing, even when the world turns away. The next chapter of your journey awaits, where we'll explore how to turn that hard-earned skill into a beacon that lights the way for others. Until then, remember this mantra: let it anchor you through every gust. Final mantra: stand firm. Your storm is forging a legend. Picture a river relentless and unyielding, carving its path through unmovable stone. It doesn't rage with fury or demand instant surrender from the rock. Know it flows day after day, year after year, wearing down the hardest barriers with quiet, persistent force. You too stand before your own stone, your own mountain of doubt and obscurity. How will you carve your mark? How will you become so good they can't ignore you? This is not about fleeting brilliance or overnight fame. This is about developing strategies to build and showcase undeniable excellence, to shape a legacy that endures like a river's canyon etched into the world's memory. Feel the current of your potential pulling you forward. You are not here to splash and fade. You are here to cut deep, to leave a mark no one can erase. Let's journey together into the heart of mastery, where persistence meets purpose and excellence becomes your signature. Imagine you're a small business owner, a baker in a sleepy town where every corner smells of bread, but none of it is yours. You knead dough in the pre-dawn, quiet hands, aching while the world sleeps. Your first loaves are uneven, your crusts too hard. Customers pass by, drawn to flashier shops with neon signs and cheap promises. Doubt creeps in like a cold draft. Why keep going when no one notices? But you don't stop. You tweak your recipes, rise earlier, study the art of fermentation as if it's a sacred text. Years pass. Your hands grow steady, your bread, a masterpiece of texture and warmth. Slowly whispers spread. Have you tried her sourdough? A line forms at your door. Soon you're not just a baker. You're the baker, the one they travel miles for, the one they can't ignore. This is the river cutting through stone. Your craft wasn't perfected in a day. It was the quiet mornings, the burnt batches, the refusal to settle for good enough that carved your path. As Steve Martin once said, be so good they can't ignore you. You didn't chase applause. You built a foundation so solid that recognition had no choice but to follow. The lesson is clear: excellence isn't loud. It's the steady drip of effort shaping the unyielding rock of obscurity into a monument of mastery. Now see yourself as an artist sketching in a cramped attic surrounded by half-finished canvases and the weight of self-doubt. Your early works are clumsy colors, clashing lines unsure. Friends urge you to mimic trends, paint what sells, they say. But something in you resists. You want a style that screams your name, a vision so distinct it can't be copied. So you paint. Night after night, you experiment with strokes, study light, pour your soul into every canvas. Rejections pile up, galleries turn you away, critics shrug, yet you don't waver. Over years, your art evolves into something raw, something only you could create. One day, a small exhibition catches an eye, then another. Suddenly, your name is on lips across the city. You've become undeniable not because you begged for attention, but because you carved a path no one else could. Like a river against stone, your persistence shaped your destiny. You didn't rush the process or mimic the currents of others. You flowed at your own pace, cutting deeper with every brushstroke. The takeaway echoes excellence demands patience. It's not about being seen today. It's about building something so true, so powerful, that tomorrow has no choice but to notice. Let's pause and reflect. What is it about a river that mesmerizes us? It's not the roar of a waterfall or the drama of a flood. It's the silent, unhurried way it carves through stone, transforming the impossible into a canyon of wonder. Developing strategies to build and showcase undeniable excellence is much the same. You don't need to shout your worth or dazzle with empty flair. True mastery is quiet. It's the daily grind, the choice to refine one skill, while the world chases 1,000 distractions. How often have you abandoned a pursuit because the stone didn't yield fast enough? How many times have you mistaken slow progress for failure? Think of your journey as water meeting rock. At first, the stone seems invincible, mocking your efforts. But every drop of sweat, every hour of practice erodes its resistance. Excellence isn't a sprint, it's erosion. It's the courage to keep flowing when no one sees, to trust that your persistence is sculpting something eternal. You're not just building a skill, you're crafting a legacy. So stand firm. Let your actions be the current, steady and sure, until the world marvels at the path you've carved. Consider this: the river's deepest cuts are hidden beneath the surface long before the canyon emerges. So it is with you. The world may not yet see the hours you've poured into your craft, the failures you've endured, the nights you've wrestled with doubt. But those unseen efforts are your power. Developing strategies to build and showcase undeniable excellence means embracing the invisible. It means understanding that every unseen stroke of the brush, every quiet revision of a plan, is a drop of water against stone. Have you ever stopped to honor the work no one claps for? Have you recognized that those moments are the bedrock of your greatness? Picture a seed buried in darkness, pressing against the earth with no promise of light. It doesn't question its struggle. It pushes until it breaks through. You too must push through the unseen, knowing that recognition is not the goal, mastery is. As Cal Newport writes in So Good They Can't Ignore, you don't follow your passion, build rare and valuable skills. Let that sink in. The river doesn't ask for permission to carve its path. It simply flows. So must you. Build in silence, refine in shadow, and let your excellence speak when the time is right. Now let's get to work. Developing undeniable excellence starts with a simple, actionable plan. First, identify one skill you're bred, your brushstroke that sets you apart. Don't scatter your energy across a dozen pursuits. Focus like a river on a single stone. Each day, commit to one small improvement. If you're a writer, craft one better sentence. If you're a coder, solve one tougher problem. Track your progress in a journal. Write down what you learned, what failed, what clicked. This isn't glamorous, but it's powerful. It's the drip of water, steady and sure. Second, seek feedback, but guard your vision. Share your work with trusted peers, not to beg for praise, but to uncover blind spots. Listen, then decide what aligns with your path. Finally, set a non-negotiable routine. Carve out time, 30 minutes an hour, every day, no excuses. When doubt whispers, this isn't working. Pause, look at your journal. See how far you've come. You're cutting deeper than you think. Keep flowing. Your canyon is forming, even if the world hasn't noticed yet. Excellence alone isn't enough. You must show it to the world with purpose. Start by curating your best work. Don't flood the market with half-finished efforts. Like a river revealing its deepest cuts, present only what shines, your strongest portfolio, your finest product. Share it strategically, post on platforms where your audience gathers, pitch to gatekeepers who value quality. But don't beg for attention. Let your work stand as proof. Next, tell the story of your process. People don't just buy a product or admire a painting. They connect with the journey. Share a glimpse of your struggle, the late nights, the lessons learned. Authenticity draws eyes. Finally, be patient. Recognition lags behind effort. When frustration hits, ask yourself, am I still improving? Am I still carving my path? If the answer is yes, keep going. The stone will yield. Your excellence will speak. As Napoleon Hill said in Think and Grow Rich, patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. Trust the process. Your time is coming. You've walked this path with me, felt the weight of the stone, and sensed the power of the river within you. Carving your mark isn't about instant glory. It's about developing strategies to build and showcase undeniable excellence. It's the baker perfecting her loaf, the artist defining her stroke, and you, yes, you choosing to refine, to persist, to flow against all odds. The key lesson rings true. Excellence is a slow carve, a patient current that transforms the impossible into the inevitable. You don't need to be loud to be noticed. You need to be relentless. Let your work be the proof, your consistency, the blade until the world has no choice but to see you. As we move forward, prepare to face new challenges, doubts that test your resolve, distractions that pull you from your stream. But hold this truth close, you are the river, and no stone can stand forever. Keep cutting, keep shaping, keep building. Your mark is already forming deeper than you know. Final mantra: flow without fear. Your canyon awaits. Picture yourself standing on a jagged cliff at the edge of a storm-ravaged sea. The fog rolls in thick, obscuring everything: your path, your purpose, your worth. Yet deep within, a light flickers. You are a lighthouse, unyielding, piercing through the haze with a brilliance that cannot be ignored. This is your moment, your transformation. You've toiled in the shadows, honed your craft, and now the world must turn its gaze to you. In the journey to be so good they can't ignore you, this is the pinnacle, becoming a beacon of influence, a force of undeniable excellence. Feel the surge of power in your chest. You're not just seen, you're sought after, revered, transformative. Let's step into this light together and celebrate the impact of becoming truly exceptional. Imagine yourself as a quiet professional in a bustling office, buried under stacks of unnoticed reports. You're the one who shows up early, stays late, and pores over every detail while others chase shortcuts. Colleagues pass you by for promotions, their charisma outshining your diligence. The sting of being overlooked burns, doesn't it? You question your worth, wonder if your effort is a silent scream into the void. But you don't stop. You sharpen your skills like a blade on stone, mastering your craft until your expertise becomes a force. Years pass and a crisis strikes, a project teeters on collapse, and no one knows the solution, except you. You step forward, calm as a lighthouse, standing firm in a tempest, and deliver clarity where there was chaos. Heads turn, voices hush. Suddenly, you're not just noticed, you're the one they trust, the leader they need. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It was forged in the quiet hours, in the unseen grind. Like a lighthouse piercing the fog, your brilliance cut through doubt and dismissal. As Cal Newport reminds us in So Good They Can't Ignore You, if you want a great job, you have to build up rare and valuable skills. You did that. You became indispensable. The lesson here, tied to our takeaway, is that true influence blooms from relentless mastery. When you're exceptional, the world has no choice but to see you. Now envision yourself as a solitary creator, tucked away in a dimly lit studio or a cluttered desk at midnight. You're a writer, an artist, a visionary, pouring your soul into work no one yet sees. Friends urge you to share half-finished pieces for quick praise, but you refuse. You labor in silence, perfecting every stroke, every word, every note. Years slip by and doubt creeps in like a shadow. Will anyone ever care? Rejections pile up and the temptation to abandon your craft gnaws at you. Yet you persist, driven by a quiet fire. Then one day a single piece escapes into the world, a story, a painting, a song. It spreads like wildfire, touching hearts across generations. People you've never met speak of how your work changed them. You, the unseen creator, become a guiding light, a lighthouse in the fog of mediocrity. Your journey mirrors the essence of becoming so good they can't ignore you. It's not about fleeting applause. It's about creating something so profound that its impact resonates long after you've left the room. Like a lighthouse, your work stands tall, unwavering, illuminating paths for others. The takeaway shines here: excellence built in solitude eventually commands the world's attention. Your influence isn't just personal, it's a legacy. Let's pause and reflect. How often have you dimmed your own light fearing it wouldn't be seen? How many times have you measured your worth by the immediate nods of others? Becoming truly exceptional isn't about instant recognition. It's about building a radiance so potent that it cuts through the densest fog. You are a lighthouse, not a fleeting spark. A lighthouse doesn't beg for ships to notice it. It simply stands unwavering, knowing its purpose. Its beam doesn't waver with the storm's howl or the silence of the night. So it is with you. Your transformation into someone unignorable comes from an inner certainty, a commitment to excellence that doesn't bend to external validation. Think of the countless souls who've changed the world from the shadows, scientists, writers, innovators whose names surfaced only after decades of quiet toil. Their influence wasn't accidental, it was inevitable. They didn't chase the spotlight. They built a light so bright it found them. So ask yourself, are you building your beam, or are you waiting for permission to shine? The fog of doubt, of rejection, of obscurity will always surround you. But when you commit to mastery, to being so good they can't ignore you, that fog becomes powerless. Your influence, like a lighthouse's glow, will guide others even when you least expect it. Consider this: influence isn't a shout, it's a ripple. When you become exceptional, your impact spreads beyond what you can see, touching lives in ways you may never know. Picture a lighthouse on a desolate shore. It doesn't choose who sees its light: a weary sailor, a lost traveler, a curious child gazing from afar. It simply shines, and in doing so, it saves it, inspires it, transforms. So it is with your excellence. You don't control who notices or when, but by forging your skills into something rare, you create waves that reach distant shores. Have you ever considered the weight of your potential? Not just for you, but for the stranger who finds hope in your work, the colleague who rises because of your example, the generation that builds on your foundation. Becoming unignorable isn't selfish, it's a gift. As Robin Sharma writes in The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, your life is a reflection of your thoughts. If you change your thinking, you change your life. When you think of yourself as a beacon, as a source of unyielding value, you alter not just your path, but the paths of countless others. Your transformation into someone exceptional isn't a solitary victory, it's a shared triumph. So stand tall, shine fiercely. The fog will part and your influence will ripple forever. Now let's ground this in action. Becoming a beacon unignored starts with deliberate steps. First, identify one skill or craft where you can be exceptional, not just good, but unparalleled. Ask yourself, what can I offer that no one else can match? Write it down, commit to it. Then carve out time daily, even if it's just 30 minutes, to refine it. If you're a writer, pen one perfect paragraph. If you're a coder, solve one complex problem. Small, consistent acts of mastery build your light. Next, shield yourself from distractions. The fog of comparison, of instant gratification, will tempt you to dim your focus. When it does, pause. Remind yourself why you started. Visualize yourself as that lighthouse standing firm while the storm rages. Finally, seek feedback, not praise, but honest critique. Find one mentor or peer who can point out your blind spots. Use their insight to polish your brilliance. Excellence isn't built in isolation, it's sharpened by truth. Take these steps and watch how your influence grows undeniable and piercing. Influence isn't a one-time burst, it's a steady glow. To sustain your transformation into someone unignorable, guard your energy. Burnout dims even the brightest lighthouse. Each week, set one boundary: say no to a task that drains you, reserve an hour for rest, or step away from noise to recharge. Your craft deserves your best self, not your exhausted shell. Also, document your progress. Keep a journal of your growth. Note every small win, every lesson from a setback. When doubt creeps in, flip through those pages. See how far you've climbed. This record becomes your fuel, a reminder that your light is growing. Lastly, give back. Share one insight or skill with someone struggling. Teaching solidifies your mastery and extends your ripple. As Zig Ziglar once said, You can have everything in life you want if you will just help other people get what they want. Sustain your light by lifting others. Your influence will shine brighter for it. One final thought before we close: the fog will always return. No matter how exceptional you become, moments of doubt of being unseen will creep back. That's not failure, it's life. But here's the truth: your light once built doesn't extinguish. A lighthouse doesn't falter because the mist thickens. It shines regardless. So must you. Your influence, your transformation into someone unignorable isn't fragile. It's forged in the fire of persistence, in the quiet resolve to be better today than you were yesterday. Ask yourself, what fog are you facing right now? Is it fear of irrelevance, the weight of comparison, or the ache of slow progress? Face it. Stand firm. Your excellence is your beam cutting through every haze. The world may take time to notice, but it will. And when it does, your impact will be a force, a guide for the lost, a signal for the searching. Be so good they can't ignore you, and the fog becomes nothing more than a backdrop to your brilliance. As we stand here at the edge of your transformation, let's anchor what we've uncovered. Becoming truly exceptional isn't just about personal triumph. It's about the influence you wield, the lives you touch, the paths you illuminate. You've seen it in the overlooked professional who became a trusted leader, in the silent creator whose work echoed through generations. You felt it in the philosophical truths of standing as a lighthouse, piercing the fog of doubt and obscurity. And you've armed yourself with steps to build and sustain your light. The takeaway of this journey is clear: true influence is born from relentless excellence. And when you commit to being so good they can't ignore you, the world will turn to your glow. Now carry this fire forward. Let it guide you as we prepare to explore the next horizon, where sustaining this brilliance meets new challenges and deeper rewards. Keep your beam steady. The fog may gather, but your light will always break through. Final mantra: shine unyielding. Your light will pierce any fog.